He
See,
portrays,
okay,
lives
so
out
here's
in
the thing.
LA.
Let me give you a little backstory on the Queer Eye thing. I don't know if you're curious at all, but I'll give you all the tea.
Oh, honey, that was
So,
like on my list of things for, I mean, no, we're not going to talk about queer. That was like on the list.
ready?
Yes, so go on.
Let's let's go in. So
Okay.
here I am. It's probably like 2017 December, and I am in Puerto Vallarta. It could be 2018, but I'm pretty sure it's 2017. And I get a call. I'll get a text message from one of the creator of Queer Eye saying, "Hey, the producers and I are on a call. We're going to call you. Do you have a moment?" And I was like, "Yeah." Now, mind you, at the beginning of all the reboots coming back, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god." So I'm in the
Right.
theater. I'm checking my show in Puerto Vallarta, which is basically like Mexican people, friendly beach community in Mexico that has many of the same acts that P-Town does in the summer. They have in the winter because it's more, it's a more tourist season there because it's more bearable. So I run outside. They call me on speaker. They say, "Jay, we've some really exciting news that we wanted to share before you heard it elsewhere. We're bringing Queer Eye back." Now, being the Puerto Rican, Italian, talkative Broadway kid that I am from New York, I immediately didn't wait for a breath. I jumped right in and I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." Because like, I just feel like I have so much more to offer now being in my 30s. I feel like, now I'm the age of the other guys. I feel like I really want to do over a lot. And they're like, we're doing it with a brand new, exciting, dynamic cast. And I
Uh,
was like, for a minute, I just felt all the life sucked out of me. Like my heart sank, the sound left the room. Like I was in proper shock. And because I didn't really, I always felt like it was my thing. It was our thing. And I was like, we put so much work into it. We don't get residuals. We were not paid anything close to what the new guys make. So,
right.
for me, and it was before social media. So for me, I always felt like, having had this pedigree of performing and theater credits prior to Queer Eye, I've been on a constant hustle, even though I've done hundreds of episodes of scripted TV, to kind of remind people of who I am, and as a performer and as an adult, and so I was gutted, and I graciously, they were like, "We want to use you guys in some poem. We'll figure something out." I was like, "Okay." I hung up so discouraged. I called my agents, and they were like, "Do you understand that it took us so long to get you to the place in your career where you are now? We don't have to beg for you to be seen for projects if they're out of Queer Eye type. People are requesting you. You're getting offers. Last year alone, the three TV series that I was on were all offers." And I kind of forgot what Queer Eye did in a negative way for me. I was the only one to leave, and I think to date, that didn't get a 6-figure, 7-figure endorsement deal from being on Queer Eye. I didn't. I left the show pretty much, how I came in, which was as a gig employee. And so for me, it was a very different thing. Now, as I look at it, I watched the seasons, and I was so overjoyed that I could watch the show as a fan. These guys have created something that doesn't even feel or remind me of my version at all. It is completely their own, and I think they've more than taken the baton. They've really and ran with it. They've really created something that's impactful for this generation. My only wish is that they would do a crossover episode, because I feel like queer history is important, and in some ways, when you don't have us do one, it does feel like you're burying the impact that we had in society then. And I say that because I just did another series for HBO Max with the executive producers of Queer Eye, where they're doing a series about unsung heroes of the 1960s, queer heroes. And I didn't know who many of these people were, nor I knew of them, but I didn't know the fullness of their contributions. And until people do, I've sat at dinner tables where people are like, "Oh my God, wait, you're on Queer, wait, which one are you?" Thinking I was on the Netflix version because I'm the same age as many of the guys on that. And so for me, it's a weird push-pull. However, I don't want to do Queer Eye again. It was an incredible experience, but it would feel like repeating like senior year. Like I did it, I loved it. It's not where my passion lies. I would like one like Christmas or Thanksgiving crossover episode, but that's about it. And I would like to work with all my five guys on another project. That's something that we have uh, all talked about and we are all on board to do. It's about finding the right project that highlights our strengths now. The 2020 version of who we are today as people might not reflect the 2003 version of who we were then.
That
And
makes
so,
sense.
yeah, and we played Family Feud against the New School versus OG, and we had a blast. That'll air this summer. And there's another network that's wooing the Queer Eye guys for a one episode thing, for something different. So we are going to be together, but that's how I feel about the Queer Eye guys. They're all great. I just went prior to isolation and before we knew anything about Corona, being stateside, I went to Karamo's house. He was having a going away party because he's currently shooting the show. And we locked each other in a bathroom because we've not really had a chance privately to chat other than, text message and stuff, and just downloaded each other about our mutual experiences. For me, being brown and queer and somewhat feminine presenting in 2003, I got a different level of treatment from people who represented us, people who were speaking about the brand. I was also very young. And, coming from starring in things to taking a big back seat was a learning curve. But by season 2 and 3 and 4, I really got my sea legs and began to command my own segments. And that is the biggest takeaway, is that I have no jealousy of this new series. I love it. I wouldn't want to do it again. It's not where my heart is. But what's special is I can watch it, and now I get why people would stop me to this day at airports and say how impactful the show was for them in their lives, or how they were able to come out of the closet, or their family or was safe to be home because they knew us. So the experience for me was layered, but my biggest takeaway, my biggest commerce, the most joy that I have when I think about that time is the residual waves of acceptance that show started.